6x. 9x. 12x. 3x. 6x. 9x. 12x. Maximum elimination. Pew pew. 0. 15. 30. 45. About 50. 0. Track's pretty good. 15. 30. 0. Pretty good. 15. 30. 0. Not too bad. I just finished doing the tracking test, and I went to go from maximum to minimum magnification, and I'm going, and it gets tight, and then it gets loose. So from 3 to 6, it's loosened up from what it was, but from 6 to 12, it's a little bit tighter than what it was. So that's not an ideal feeling. Also, while I'm here, I know you noticed it, but again, just in case, wow, this magnification ring is getting interesting. When I go to change the parallax settings, you'll notice right away that everything shifts. So where this is focused, it should be about 30 meters or so, and that's about what it is on the scope itself. So that's good. But if I go down to just under 25, about 20, you could see how much that shifts, and that's a big amount. So that's what you get when you pay little amounts of money for a scope. something's bound to give, and typically it's going to be with glass. The quality is very good as far as how it visually looks, but I think the adjustments are a little bit off.
Pew pew aw.
And there you have it. This Athlon Talos 3 to 12 by 40 has left me impressed. And especially when we consider the price. $170 is not a lot of money. But this thing performs at least twice its price point, maybe even better, especially with all the options that it has. Now, there are a couple of quirks about it, but given the price, I can overlook that. I really can. For what my coworker, my friend, is going to use this for on a little 22, he's going to use in his backyard for pest control. This is fantastic. And if you're looking for a beater scope for, again, a 22 or just a throw around gun, this is a really nice option. It's got a lot of great features, as you've already seen, and they all work quite well. Yes, there are some quirks, like when you adjust your parallax, it does shift the reticle over slightly. Don't mind my boo-boo. It does shift the reticle over, which does suck, but if you're only using this for a plinker or a small hunting gun for varmints in your backyard, it shouldn't really make that much of a difference. But again, price point. Keep that in mind. $170. That's it. Illumination's actually really good. As long as it's not really, really bright outside, anything past twilight, and it functions fantastic. Even at its minimum brightness at 1, you can still see it during twilight hours, which is great. And the 11x, I keep on saying 11x, at its maximum brightness, it doesn't wash out. It doesn't disturb the reticle. It's still very, very clear and noticeable. Now, the one thing I did mention most was this magnification ring. Now, when I had first started using this, the ring was tight all the way throughout, which is expected of a brand new optic. But what has happened since is from 3 to about 6, and that's the same amount of force. So I'm going to turn this and keep turning it until that happens, and I actually start slipping. So from 6 to 12, you really got to crank it. Now, I don't know if that's just with this particular scope, but again, this is built to a very low price point, so something is going to give. I don't know if this is going to cause any sort of problems in the future, but it is something that we have to take note of. You get what you pay for in most cases. But I'm willing to overlook this for everything else. The glass clarity on this thing is actually really good. Again, the controls are pretty good, this being the exception. But it has a lot going for it. And for a 22, for 17 HMR, for a small caliber rifle that you're going to be using, it's absolutely fine. Even if you wanted to shoot this at extended ranges, I'm sure it would work perfectly fine. The glass actually will keep up with it, no doubt. The reticle, it's good. Will the drops work for you and your setup as far as ammunition and gun, barrel velocity, altitude, all that stuff? That's up to you to decide, but this is actually a really nice scope for the price. Something that if I needed a scope like this, I would absolutely buy this in a heartbeat. Now, these do claim to have a really good warranty. I don't really know. I haven't heard from anyone with any personal experience, but knowing how manufacturers are today, I wouldn't doubt it being at least pretty good. So that basically concludes this video. I like this. For $170, I think it punches well above its weight class, and it offers a whole hell of a lot for its price. I think my coworker is going to be very thrilled with this, and I think it's going to fit his bill absolutely perfectly. Well, that's going to conclude this review. Thank you very much for watching. See you again next time.